I'm going to outline my exact process step by step to save you a bunch of time on your next video. You can use this process with or without a teleprompter, but you may find that having one is great for delivering your lines quickly and efficiently. Hi, I'm Vincia, pro content marketer with Teleprompter Mastery. Let's get started. Over the course of this video, I'm going to go into detail on my favorite scripting software, my must-have script sections, how to add pattern interrupts, implementing shot lists, how to finalize the script, how to share with your friends, family, and employees for critique, how to do final touch-ups, and how to be ready to record. Scripting software. Scripting software is just a fancy way of talking about software that allows you to add text. Think Microsoft Word, Google Docs, or even Adobe Acrobat. The best software is really up to you. I use Google Doc because it is easily shared with my coworkers for collaboration. On top of that, it imports directly into PromptSmart, the teleprompter software I'm currently using for my video. It's a win-win. Comment below with what you are using and how it ties into your video creation process. Script section. Now let's chat about what sections you should always have in your script. I like to start a fresh document with these sections clearly labeled. 1. Title and focus. 2. Intro. 3. Meat. 4. Conclusion. And then 5. The call to actions. You are scripting because you have a video idea, right? Well, everyone has ideas, but who will actually put them into action? Using my scripting process, you can more easily focus on actually creating the video instead of just thinking about the details. You'll be a YouTube celebrity in no time. 1. Title and focus. I recommend on defining an epic title first, along with the focus of the video to keep you on track during the scripting process. One of my favorite title ideas that I've used in the past is "Your video sucks. How to master YouTube videos using a teleprompter." By the way, I have my next 3 videos scripted about my YouTube process. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss it. It is easy to understand what the content will be about. It's specific and catchy, making people want to click. I just love it. I cannot tell you how many times I've created a script and then went back to think, what was this video supposed to get across to the viewer? What was the focus keyword? Without a title and focus, you may be wasting your time on a video that has no search volume or even potential. It's a critical step that you don't want to skip. This is because YouTube is a video search engine and you want to SEO optimize your content as much as possible so your video can get to the right audience. 2. Introduction. An introduction is composed of 3 basic parts: video intention, short personal intro, and optional 5-second B-roll. The most critical part of your video is what you say first. You want to tell the viewer exactly what they will see in the video. So do this before you even tell them who you are. You have exactly 12 seconds before they hit that back button, so make it count. Once you make your statement of video intent, it's okay to say hi. In fact, I love watching videos that take a moment to say something like the following. By the way, I'm Vincia with Teleprompter Mastery. Those of you that are subscribed, welcome back. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and if you find this video helpful, it really adds a personal zing, and I do feel compelled to subscribe. The important thing is that you do not take too long to do this. Again, you don't want people to hit the back button because you take too long to get to the point. At this point, I usually jump to the meat of the video. However, sometimes videographers and YouTubers like to add a little B-roll, which helps brand their channel. I recommend just taking 2 to 5 seconds to do this at most before going into the meat. The meat of the video is where the magic happens. You spell out all of the content here. One major pro tip for creating the meat of the video is to use bullet points and put 1 sentence on each line. I find that this helps me to shorten my sentences for easier reading once I get to the video recording process. Have you ever thought, that's a mouthful, when you read a line of your script while recording? Conclusion. The conclusion of your video should have 2 parts. Part 1, signal to the watcher that the video is over. This can be as simple as, okay guys, that takes you through it. Part 2 is actually a call to action for people to hit that subscribe button so they don't miss your next videos. Here's an example. Guys, that's all I have for you right now. If you want more teleprompter tips, hit that subscribe button right now. I'm Vincia with Teleprompter Mastery, and I'm Audi 5000. See you next time. What are some of your biggest struggles with script writing? Comment below right now. Speaking of call to actions, I recommend having a section at the bottom of your script with some different call to action. This can be nice to edit into the video at various points. I like having options that I tend to sprinkle the call to actions throughout my videos to get people to interact by commenting, liking, or subscribing. Here's an example we did in our past video. Do you have any teleprompter tips or use a different app? Leave me a comment down below. Now that you know each section of a script, let's talk about the writing process. Writing process. First draft. Write it out. In the initial draft, I just write my ideas down to be refined later. Don't worry too much about grammar and mistakes at this point. Second draft is when you refine the script. When I go back for my second draft, I put on my critical thinking cap. I think to myself, how can I most successfully say this in the fewest number of words possible? This is where I rewrite my content to be more easily understood. The Hemingway editor is a great resource to help fix grammar mistakes and will make your script easy to read. Just copy your script into Hemingway and it will highlight any errors. Third draft is when you add pattern interrupts. Now that the text flows nicely and is easily understood, it's time to look at the meat of your script and find strategic places to add pattern interrupts. A pattern interrupt during the script writing process can be many things, like dancing, funny moments, jokes, storytelling, changing camera angles, etc. Dancing is fun and adds a lot of energy. Humor usually catches people off guard. Storytelling makes it personal. Alternating camera angles is also a great way to keep people engaged. Pattern interrupts keep the YouTube viewer interested for the entire video and will increase your watch time. Here's an example of a pattern interrupt we used in a video recently.
You could be at the beach, delivering a speech on affiliate marketing. Or at the aquarium, teaching children about the different types of wildlife. Even on a cruise ship, pitching your 401k financial plans.
The use of a green screen to add a moving background creates a pattern interrupt and entices you to keep watching. In post-processing, you can add other types of pattern interrupts with the green screen, or by adding music, titles, etc. Often, I highlight the pattern interrupts with yellow at this stage because it can sometimes include an action instead of actual words. This helps remind me to add in that footage later, as it will be recorded separately. Fourth draft, implementing a shot list. Some videographers create a separate sheet with shots they want to record for their video that are separate from the main script. I actually find it easier to add them directly into the script. That way, when I do the original recording, I can say, okay, now we are adding that footage here. It helps me keep things chronological and easier to edit later. Again, you can create a new format for this within the script by using a different highlight color. How to finalize script. At this stage, you have already checked for spelling mistakes and grammar, made it easier to read, added in pattern interrupts, and your shot list. Now, it's time to take one final look. Is there anything else you can add? I usually look at spots where I don't have any highlighted parts. This is typically a signal that it will be a boring part of the video. Add in your finishing touches now. Get critiqued. At this point, I recommend sharing the script with a coworker or family member to get a second set of eyes on it. Hey Thomas.
Yeah.
Could you check out the script for me?
Sure. It's missing a funny joke. What's the key to a great Thanksgiving dinner?
What?
A turkey.
They might have ideas for how to word things differently, or they might read it and think it is super confusing. You just never know. It's better to find out now before people start leaving comments on your video. Final touch-ups. Once you have shared the script, you can make any additional touch-ups to the script. From here, it is ready to record. Ready to record. When I get ready to record, it is important to export my script to a teleprompter. I love using a presidential teleprompter to record it because it is so versatile. You can use it with iPads, laptops, tablets, anything you want. Today, I'm using an iPad with Prompt Smart, so I can literally just use the Google Doc I just created and import the script from the Google Drive. You just have to get your camera and roll that teleprompter. Okay guys, that takes you through my entire scripting process. Leave a comment below right now with anything I missed that you do too to prepare for a video. I'm Vincia with Teleprompter Mastery, and I'll see you in the next video.